was simple. Instead of me doing the brainstorming, the students did it. And I was absolutely flabbergasted, blown away, and amazed by the incredible creativity they displayed and all the various ideas they had for how they could demonstrate their knowledge of the novel Bridge to Terabithia. After brainstorming, students narrowed their choices down to the following: creating a puppet show, baking a cake, creating a collage and making a tutorial, creating a representation of the setting using Minecraft, using clay to make a representation of characters, creating Zondel review games, and making a bridge out of marshmallows.
Make a collage of all of the different kind of famous bridge.
Do you like having a choice for the project? Okay.
I'm working with a partner.
Okay, and how's that going so far?
It's going really great. Since I'm not that good at sculpting clay, my partner is making the clay and I'm going to figure out how to use the technology.
Students had choices in what type of technology they used for their projects. Various options included making Powtoon videos, YouTube tutorials, Minecraft, Google presentations. Check out this YouTube excerpt from Melody.
Arrange the photos to where you want them to be and glue them on.
When we're not near, hear this song and know, just know. If sad times steal your joy, bring me on.
This is how it might look.
This is Nicholas's final project, one in which the entire class could actually enjoy.
Alone if you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back.
So I like making stuff and crafts, and I like to bake. I like to make something that we can eat because I really like to eat. So my partner Evelyn came to my house and we made the bridge together. So we collaborate and she worked a lot and I worked a lot too. I think I learned to be creative in this project because you can make your own like Terabithia and the things that you think it's in your mind out of clay, and I think it really helped me because now I know how Terabithia is and what it looks like, even though it's not really like the story or the movie. It's still in my imagination.
So far the biggest room, and it's filled with books because Leslie likes reading and her mother's a writer. And this is Leslie's favorite room because she likes the golden floor. It's the church I made where people sing and the father basically just stands here. And this design, I made it the windows are 4 blocks wide and 6 blocks long. Total of about 6 hours, maybe 4 hours to 6 hours, but it's kind of big because the entire wall and stuff and the roof. So it kind of takes time. And I made this design, 1 diamond cross in the middle, 2 gold cross beside it. and so the ladder leads to the top of the roof. It's basically a shape of a massive cross, and I made a smaller cross inside here. So, yep, that's basically what I made for this bridge.
With Eli's independent Minecraft project, I was super impressed by his initiative and self-direction as he was completely in charge of his own learning. Upon completion of the project, we talked a little bit about personalization, choice, interest, and passion. And this was something that both the students and I were happy with, as we felt that they selected what was being learned and they had the opportunity to decide how they would learn it, how they would be assessed, and what types of technologies that they would use. The communication and collaboration piece was more of a mixed bag. For the students who worked independently, most of them were off and running and they did an incredible job. Groups of two also worked well. Larger groups tended to struggle a bit more, and a lot more modifications and adjustments had to be made to take care of a few of the problems that those larger groups face. So I realized that this is something that in the future they need to have a better skill set in order to be able to collaborate in those larger groups. So this is what I'll keep in mind as I move into my next novel study unit. Benjamin's work was an example of something that was authentic, as he was able to contribute to an audience of teachers that actually fell outside our classroom. As we move into our second novel study, there are a few things that I'd like to change. First of all, I want to make sure that the use of technology is streamlined. I'd also like to focus on students' collaboration skills in larger groups. And thirdly, I'd like to make sure that peers are assessing one another. As with the other projects, I was the sole assessor. Last year, for our Holes novel study, the use of technology was actually quite complicated. Students created a learning playlist using lesson paths, which also included the use of Quizlet, Padlet, VoiceThread, and a Google presentation. So while I was excited about the wide variety of technology they were using, the day-to-day implementation was exceedingly complicated and actually detracted from the learning and overshadowed some of the more important aspects they were actually trying to achieve. This year, I decided to streamline everything and make the entire process be done on a collaborative Google Doc. This year is that with everything being on a collaborative Google Doc, that the management is simpler and that students and I can both focus on the quality of the communication. We'll be looking for richer conversations and more in-depth connections with the text. Another change that I've made to the unit this year is the addition of a synthesis and reflection component. So each week students will be asked to synthesize and reflect on what the group has done. They will create a blog post and then they will be able to share that blog with a wider audience. We're currently in communication with a school from Pennsylvania where we often share projects and various things. So one idea is to have the students share the blog posts with these students and also to consider sharing them with the other 5th grade class at our school.